Hey, what's up guys? It's Luke and you're watching Luke the Gathering. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Today was Friday Night Magic. Again, it was the last Innistrad Midnight Hunt draft. Kind of sad. Crimson Vow's coming out next week. We're going to have the pre-release and I think it's going to be tons of fun. I can't wait. I love vampires. I actually love vampires. I'm not like a big fan of werewolves. So maybe that's why you can call me Mr. One and Three for this set. I feel like every draft tournament I go to, it's 1 and 3. This was my best showing yet. I can confidently say that because I went 2 and 1, 2 and 1, or no, sorry, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and then 2 and 1 in my last game. So every single round I went to the 3 games, and I thought my deck did decent, and I thought I played decently well, but I just could not overcome whatever it was to get me over the hump. So that was the only disappointing thing. Midnight Hunt, I wish I could at least have gone one tournament getting to the 2 and 1 mark, but it wasn't meant to be. We're going to take a look at the deck that I got, just like we always do. We'll see how we did in the deck, the cards, the synergies. And then, of course, you can let me know what I could have done maybe differently to do better. But I thought I had a pretty decent deck. I definitely had some all-stars in this deck that were pretty powerful and helped me win and keep me in the game and actually drive the opponent to some headaches for sure. But overall, not the best record. Midnight Hunt for me, 1 and 3. Let's hope Crimson Vow isn't like that. I want to get 2 and 1 at least. On average, I mean, that's a lot. That's a big ask, I guess. But I feel like Midnight Hunt just wasn't the set for me, for whatever reason. My guess, it's the werewolves. I don't like werewolves. Not that I think they're scary or anything. I love vampires. And I'm hoping Crimson Vow will be the set that hopefully I'll do better in when I play in Limited. So let's take a look at the deck that I put together right now. Alright, let's take a look at some of these cards. First of all, we have Clarion Cathars. This is a 3/3 human knight, and when it enters the battlefield, you create a 1/1 white human creature token. I mean, that's okay. Not the best, but it helps you get some more board presence, which my deck was really all about. Going wide was definitely something that this deck did, and did pretty decently. In fact, there were a bunch of matchups where I was falling behind, or especially my last matchup, the one that I won, I was falling behind. But once I started spreading out across the battlefield, the opponent just could not deal with that. And so, Clarion Cathars, not my favorite card by any stretch of the imagination, but getting that extra 1/1 human token was nice. And actually synergized specifically with one other card, and you wouldn't ever do that in a constructed format, but in a limited format, maybe you just try to get that one synergy going wherever you can. I got a foil here, Harvesttide Sentry. I don't really like this Coven ability. When he has Coven, can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Didn't do a whole lot in this game, really. 3/1, but I was happy to play it as sort of a blocker, or somebody to just be on the board. Gavany Trapper was good. His ability to tap down creatures is excellent. And so he does make a pretty big difference. I mean, I was facing down that one big black zombie creature. I think it's a 6/7 or a 7/6. And tapping that down, just making sure that it can't attack you, was huge. And so Gavany Trapper definitely did his job. Search Party Captain did well as well because he draws you a card. I did have to pay full price for him a few times, but there were times where he only costed one mana to come out because his spell cost 1 less for each creature you attacked with in the turn. And since I was going wide, there were often times where I would swing with everybody and then be able to play the Search Party Captain for just 1 white mana, draw a card for a 2/2. That's pretty cool. I was always happy to see Lunarch Veteran in my opening hand with, a Plains, came out right away, started gaining me life, and then I didn't worry too much because if he did die, I could turn him over, and I had 2 of them, so it was nice, to get someone there early, and then also in the air early. My deck's all about fighting and battling, so I actually had 3 Might of the Old Ways. Gives you +2/+2, and you can draw a card if you have Coven, so that's really cool. This card did really well for me. My opponents, of course, were expecting it. I don't know if they expected having to deal with 3 of them, but this was great. This is the card that will help you win the combat that you need to win. Death Bonnet Sprout. This was a mixed bag for me. It mills. This is probably better in blue-green than the blue, the green-white deck that I built. It lets you mill cards, but I feel like every time I milled away a land, and then when I drew the card, it was the creature that I wanted to mill. So that was a little infuriating. But when it did get off into a 3/3, it did really well, and it was a threat to my opponents. So it's a great card to really start the game off with, and then once you get it to change, you can really grow it to be a large creature, and I did that in one of the games, which was a lot of fun. Candle Trap is cool. It's a removal. I actually did not just turn a creature into a defender, but I did use the Coven ability because I Coven all the time with this deck. I had 0 power creatures, 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and Candle Trap was great actually to stop some of the creatures from coming in and then destroying them. I destroyed some really big creatures with this. Loyal Gryph is probably my favorite Gryph in this set, and it's because it flashes in. And you can bounce a creature that you have back into its hand. Pretty cool. I use it to flash in and block, or to have a flyer out. Overall, a card I was happy to play. Candlegrove Witch, in the first few games, did a lot of work. When it gets Coven, it can fly. And so I was able to fly over things and just do that 2 damage a bunch of times. Very happy with Candlegrove Witch. Bird Admirer 2. I actually been more of an admirer of Bird Admirer as of late. 1/4, great defender, and then when you turn it around, it's 3/5, and is pretty formidable. Hard to stop, actually. And great for blocking spirits, because spirits are typically not that powerful. And so they can just, stand in front of spirits and not die. Even that 4/4 Phantom Carriage thing, if it's on the flip side at 3/5, it blocks it. Really cool. Howl of the Hunt is a card I've gone to respect a lot more and more. 3 mana, flashes in and gives +2/+2 and Vigilance. So good. The Vigilance, when you have a creature that's a 6/6, I got it up to an 8/8. 8/8 with Vigilance, it's just I'm attacking and it just stays there and it blocks everything. That was so cool. And so, Howl of the Hunt was really awesome. A really great green spell that I definitely underestimated at the beginning. And now I absolutely love it, but it's the end of the format and I can't play it as much as I want to. Timberland Guide. Did okay. Putting that 1+1/+1 counter on something was okay. Not the best, really. Shadow Beast Sighting was really good. Really good. Getting that 4/4. Anything 4/4 and above in this format is really nice because all the other decks have a hard time dealing with 4/4s and even 3/3s, as we're going to see in just a moment. Briarbridge Tracker is cool. I didn't realize this, but when it makes that clue token, it gets +2/+0. I just kept thinking it had to be a creature token that gives him +2/+0. But no, it was a clue token, and so a lot of times this was a 4/3/4/3. And if you needed and with Vigilance, and if you needed that clue token, you could crack it, and he would get weaker, but, in a pinch, that's not bad. So I was pleasantly surprised with this one. Fateful Absent was also really a good card for me. I don't like that it gives the opponent a clue token, but for just 2 mana to destroy a creature or planeswalker is pretty sweet. This card, I always played this card when I got it into my hand. It was always taking out something. Same thing with Intrepid Adversary. Man, this card was great too. It gave all the creatures +1/+1. Had counters on it. Has lifelink. It just overall a great, 2-drop. Intrepid Adversary. Really good card. Borrowed Time. This is probably my favorite removal in white. Not only does it get rid of creatures, it gets rid of any permanents. So for 3 mana, this is a wonderful card. Of course, most of the time I feel like you'll get rid of creatures that are giving you trouble. And this was like the all-star pair of dual craft trainers. Actually, in my last game, I had both of these guys out. And, they didn't even have Coven. They weren't giving anyone double strike. They were just 3/3 first strikers, and the guy could not deal with 2 of them. And I got this guy out a lot. Since I had 2 of them, just really gave my opponents a run for their money. Dual Craft Trainer, one of my favorite cards in white. If I see this guy, and I know I'm doing white, it's a no-brainer. Picking up Dual Craft Trainer almost before anybody else. Giving someone else double strike is just nuts. That's his Coven ability. If you give him, he hits first strike just by himself at 3/3. So good. And then Tireless Hauler too. Wow, this guy was awesome for me. Turns into a 6/6. He's vigilant. I don't know. I don't think I give this guy enough credit. This guy just sat there and did work. This guy is tireless, as it says in the card. All right, let's see. Did I draft anything else? Nothing else I think I drafted particularly well and good. Just stuff for the sideboard. Plummet, Sungold Barrage, Thraben Exorcism. I should have put this card in, actually. That's my bad. I think I would have done